I just finished pouring these 3 sections of sidewalk, and we used a store-bought fast ready mix concrete, and I had some help, otherwise I would have did each section at a time, but it was 3 slabs. I tore it up and redid it, another way of doing it, so here we go. Now here's a piece of sidewalk right here that went bad. It all broke up, 1, 2, 3 sections. The rest is good. See how it all broke up? So we're going to replace them 3. I'm going to show you how we did it. Alright, first we're going to take the sides off along the sidewalk because we got to form it anyway. And then we just save the dirt right there. Now we're going to use a railroad jack to get underneath the sidewalk to get it up. That's it. We lift the sidewalk up with a railroad jack. Okay, and they happen to have wire in it. Just our luck. Oh, I got my line here. See it? Going all the way down the sidewalk. I put my 2x4s in.
36.5 inches across.
Okay. Now we're throwing gravel in there. I'm a big firm believer in gravel underneath sidewalks. And this is that 1B gravel. See that? 1B or P gravel they call it. Then we give it a little tamping. So when you're using that fast drying cement, good idea to wet it down really good. Now today we're mixing this by hand using a fast drying cement right here. So I'm measuring right here, 54 inches. Square on here. Using our edger, we'll keep using our edger here. Going over it. Just like that. This long trowel, this kind of straightens everything out. Show you where your holes are. So you're doing this, and maybe you got a little hole right there. Well, you just kind of scrape it up like that till you get that juice on it, and you go like that to your corners. Or scrape it up a little bit, you get the juice on it, you get your corners. After you do it a bunch of times, you'll figure it out. Now, some guys like to leave that mark in there, but I don't leave it in there because the swimming pool guys told me people stub their toe on that, so I stopped doing it. That's the way I do it anymore. We get our forms off, and this is just about an hour later. Down here with the knife. Get our plastic out. Now nice and clean that is in there. Now we're putting the grass all back. Yeah. I'm going to wet it down. And I'm going to cover it. So we cover it up. About 3 weeks later, I'm going to put a sealer on it. Now I'm going to be using a sealer, and it's getting to the point in Pennsylvania, that's the directions right there, I start using a sealer because of all the salt. They have liquid salt anymore, and it's killing the roads and driveways and sidewalks, so I started using it. I don't put it on during the cure. I wait a few weeks and I put it on. I guess I'm a little bit old school. Now you notice on this video I use some store-bought cement. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the differences. Right here it tells you for setting posts, for sidewalks, for steps, for floors, for patios, and for footings. And you go to this one, this fast setting cement, it says the same thing. So years ago they never had these kind of products where you just go and you add the water. This is relatively a new thing. It really took off in the last 10 years. And what the reason I used this is because right away I knew I was going to be out of there in an hour. I did that whole job in one day, put the grass back, and I was gone. Now there's nothing wrong with these store-bought cements. The first video I showed you the traditional way, and now I just showed you another way. There's a million ways to lay sidewalks and a million ways to put footings in and floors. It all depends on the situation. So what I recommend to do is, if you're going to use a certain cement, and I recommend this more so than fast setting because you really have to know what you're doing with fast setting. But what you do is you take a little bit of this stuff out, you add water to it, and you see how long it takes to set. Before you do anything, always test it first, do a little sample. So that's it. This video is about using store-bought cement and laying sidewalks. And if you notice, I would have never done that unless I had a lot of help. Do 3 at the same time, I would have did them separate. So that's the end of part 2 of laying concrete slabs.